What's up guys, welcome back. So today I wanted to do a video on solving by factorization. We're gonna go through a few different examples and we're gonna look at some things that you should definitely look out for. All right, let's get started. Okay, so this first question, t squared minus 5t equals 0. So the first thing you wanna do is you wanna make sure one side's equal to 0 when you solve these things, because when you factorize it, we can use the fact that anything times 0 is 0 and therefore it's easier to solve. So in this case, one side is already equal to 0. So the next step would be to factorize, take our common factors. So I've got t outside of t minus 5 is equal to 0. So once you've factorized it, you can see that t on the outside and t minus 5 can each individually equal 0 in order to make this equation true. So I will write t is equal to 0. That'll be my one solution. And t minus 5 is equal to 0. That'll be my other solution. Now t equals 0 is already solved, so I just need to solve t minus 5 equals 0, which is 5. And I'm done. So you can see here, if I substitute t equals 0 into this equation, it doesn't matter what's in this bracket, because 0 times anything is 0. Likewise, if I substitute 5 into this bracket, 5 minus 5 is 0. 0 times anything, doesn't matter what that is, will also be 0, so that is correct. Okay, next example. 4x squared minus 1 is equal to 0. So one side's already equal to 0. Now I want to factorize this. Okay, so there's a few ways to do it, but let's go the route where we factorize it using a difference of two squares. So hopefully you can see that the first number, or the first term, 4x squared, is a square term, and also 1 is a square number. So I can factorize that by saying 2x plus 1, 2x minus 1 is equal to 0. And like before, I isolate these individually. So 2x plus 1 equals 0, 2x minus 1 equals 0. Solve these one at a time. 2x equals negative 1, x equals a half, negative a half. 2x is equal to 1, x is equal to a half. So done. Okay, so another way you could do this, although I don't really recommend it, is you could have moved you could have moved 1 to the other side. So 4x squared is equal to 1. Move the 4 to the other side, so x is equal to a quarter, x squared is equal to a quarter. And then square root. So remember, when you square root, you get a plus and a minus. Square root of a quarter is a half, so you'll get plus and minus a half. Okay, now let's look at this example. X squared plus 9x plus 14 is equal to 0. So one side's already equal to 0, and now we have a trinomial. So in other words, we've got three terms, a trinomial quadratic. And what we can do is we use this method PSF, product sum factor, where we want to try and find the product of this constant here, 14, the sum of the middle term, or the middle coefficient, which is 9. And we need two numbers that multiply to give 14, that add to give 9. So just rattling off some multiply times tables, I think that's going to be 7 and 2. 7 times 2 is 14, 7 plus 2 is 9. So I'll get x plus 7, sorry. X plus 2 is equal to 0. So x is equal to minus 7 or negative 2. Here's the next example. 3x squared plus 7x plus 4 is equal to 0. So here, we're still going to use PSF because we have a trinomial. But what we need to do is we need to kind of change up the product. The product's not just going to be 4, it's going to be 3 times 4. Okay? So 3 times 4 is 12. The sum still stays the same, so the middle coefficient, which is 7. So I need two numbers that multiply to give 12, that add to give 7. Well, I think that's going to be 4 and 3, right? 4 times 3 is 12. 4 plus 3 is 7. Now this one you need to do a bit differently. What we're going to do is we're going to split that middle term using our factors. So we've got 3x squared plus 4x plus 3x plus 4 is equal to 0. Now whenever you have four terms, as you can see here, 1, 2, 3, 4, most of the time you want to factorize in pairs, okay? So what's the highest common factor of the first two terms? I think that's x, so x outside of 3x plus 4, bracket. Now if there's no common factor here, it'll be 1. So you just want to factorize 1 out, so 1 outside of 3x plus 4 is equal to 0. And also you want to make sure that these two are exactly the same, otherwise you've done something wrong, because we can factorize those two terms out. So here I'm going to have 3x plus 4 in one bracket, x plus 1 in another bracket, equals 0. Now, like before, I can solve these individually. So 3x plus 4 equals 0. 3x equals negative 4. X is negative 4 and 3. And over here, x plus 1 is equal to 0, so x equals negative 1. All right, here's another example where we've got x squared minus 3x equals 10. So straight away I notice that one side's not equal to 0, so we need to do that. We can do that by moving 10 to the other side. X squared minus 3x minus 10 equals 0. And now it's just like before. So PSF, we've got a few negatives we've got to work with. Product's negative 10. Sum's negative 3. So a little bit more tricky, but it's still fine. So two numbers that multiply give negative 10. That add to give negative 3. I think that's minus 5 and 2. So if there's no coefficient at the front, you can just plug it straight into the brackets. X minus 5 in one bracket, x plus 2 in another bracket. So like before, x equals 5, x equals negative 2. Done. So here's an example where we've got things already factorized on the left-hand side, as you can see, but also we've got 20 on the other side, which isn't what we need to solve by factorizing. Because remember, we need one side equals 0. So expanding this out, you'll get m squared minus 4m minus 3m plus 12 is equal to 20. Bring the 20 to the other side. M squared minus 4m, oh sorry, let's simplify that. M squared minus 7m minus 8, because 12 minus 20 is 8, minus 8 equals 0. And now we're where we want to be. So we can PSF it. The product is minus 8. The sum is minus 7. Okay, so two numbers that multiply to give minus 8, add to give minus 7. I think that's minus 8 and positive 1. So m minus 8, m plus 1 is equal to 0, m is equal to 8 or minus 1. Done. All right, that's it for today. If that was helpful, let me know in the comments below. Otherwise, I'll see you in the next one.